Hello guys and welcome back to another episode of Surviving with Steve. So today I want to mine a shulker box of diamond blocks. Before I properly start the video, just wanted to say a few things. So the video I recorded actually in July 2021. I was playing in version 1.17, but I'm recording this audio in May 1st, 2026. It took me almost 5 years to get to this point. I just left the original audio in the part that I recorded it for the time lapse because I recorded it just after finishing this video, so everything was still very fresh, and I think it just conveys what the process was better than I could right now. But the rest of the video, I ended up recording the audio again because it was a very bad quality, and just wanted to make sure it is a bit better, as I have a better microphone now. So the reason I want to do this is because I already have a shulker box of diamond blocks that I got before I did the world tour. I got this before I even thought of making a YouTube channel, so I don't even have any records of it, and no proof pretty much besides my statistics. So I want to do this today to prove that it is possible and that I've done that before. So here's the shulker box, as you can see, but I'll be getting a new one today. This time it'll probably be a bit more annoying than the first one because now there's dip slate in the new terrain generation of 1.17, but also I already did this once. I have a few tricks already, and I even have the mob switch now. One thing that I'll need is more beacons, because right now I only have 69 of those. I actually need 3 stacks and 48 beacons for it to cover the whole area that I'm mining. I'll put the beacons with haste 2 and speed 2, which will greatly increase the speed in which I get these diamonds. Without them, it would be just way too much time to do this. The first thing I want to do then is get the wither skeleton skulls. I need to go to my wither skeleton farm. That is right here. I just need to get to the overworld side. And as I built this farm a few episodes ago, I already have a lot of skulls, but it's more than enough for my needs. So I'll be getting a few stacks here. I think if I get 9 stacks of skulls, it will be more than enough. And it's important to have a few left because I will not be getting the beacons back. I'll leave them there that I'll be mining, just so I have some reminiscent of this, and because there's a lot of work to get the iron blocks back. So now I could go to then to kill the withers inside the ender portal, but I don't want to do this just now. I want to show the area that I'll be mining for. So it's over here. But this fire area is like this because I used to fight blazes in the Nether Fortress over here, and they would shoot the fireballs and hit the blocks. The fire is always adjacent to a block because the fireballs would hit the block in front and light the block below, but that's just a curiosity from this area. But the portal is this one right here. You can see the area here. All this is new 1.17 terrain, so I should get deep slate and deep slate ores from this, which is nice, but also is slowing me down quite a bit. The area that I'll be mining is the same I did the first time I did this thing, which is 1000 by 1200. The first time I actually did this in 3 parts of 1000 by 400, but this time I'll do the whole thing at once, so that's why I need so many beacons. First time I actually removed all the beacons each time, even in the end, so I would just move the beacons from one area to the other. I thought I'd need only a 1000 by 800 area, but I actually needed another 400 by 1000 blocks more. To make things a bit easier, it's good to find a good coordinate, so like here 3000 and go to 200, so I can easily calculate where I should place the beacons. If I go over down here, it should be over here. And let me just mark this spot here, get a mushroom block, so it makes it a bit easier for me to find it when I come back. So now I'll be going to the end to prepare things for me to kill the withers. I think I should have all the soul sand I need because I got quite a bit from archery 2 episodes ago. After that, I'll start placing the beacons here, which I probably use iron blocks. Even though I have a lot of gold blocks, I want to store them to get even more soul sand in the future because I plan on getting a chest of shulker boxes of beacons at some point. And for that, I need 2 double chests full of shulker boxes of soul sand, and that requires a lot of gold. So here in the end, I just need to go to the portal right in the center here. Portal textures are really broken in 1.17. I believe they have fixed in 1.17.1. Don't really know why. But all I need to do here is just dig out a bit of space down here so I can place a few obsidians to spawn the withers on. I used to have a wither killer down here, a automatic one. Wasn't that fast, but it was automatic. But I destroyed it 2 episodes ago, so now I'll have to do this all by hand, which is quite unfortunate because I'm going to be killing 3 stacks of wither today, which should take me quite a while, and having that contraption now would be pretty good. Just need to place the wall and 3 obsidians. Actually, I don't need a wall, I need an obsidian there. Otherwise, I think the wither might escape. But with those blocks in place, I just need to spawn the wither on top of it, and it should be trapped in the bedrock. I'll be needing all those beacons because I'll be using speed and haste shoe at the same time to mine diamonds, as it allows me to, in areas with stone at least, to sprint and break blocks almost full speed, which really makes the process a lot faster. Even having speed shoe is actually pretty good. Could use potions, but it would require quite a lot of potions to do that as well, so I might just use beacons because they are more reliable. With the smite sword here, you can see it's very easy to kill the wither. It only takes a few hits. But as I can only spawn one at a time, it will take me quite a while, but most of the time I'm just waiting for it to spawn. With one down, just need to kill the rest now. So now with all the beacons in my hand, as well as quite a bit of iron, which will probably not be enough, I'll start placing the beacons and I'll be back once I'm done. I'm not going to record it because it's pretty hard to record a replay of that, as I'll be moving quite a lot. So here I am with all the beacons in place. I cannot see them all, even though I have maximum render distance I can. That's because there's a point that the beacons just don't render, even though they are inside render distance. I changed the area size a bit. It is now 2000 by 600 blocks. I decided to do this because it is better to keep on the same lane longer, because changing the street takes a bit more time than just going straight. Quite beautiful, just seeing all those beacons here. Added this blue glass so it looks a bit more on theme. The beacons actually end over that swamp over there. And if I go to this direction here, about 2000 blocks, I should get to the portal that I showed before. But you can see all the beacons in place. This part is probably the most boring one because you don't really see any progress. You're just mining holes for beacons, a lot of beacons in this case. You don't have haste, so it's quite slow, and the holes are actually quite big. You have to calculate each one. You cannot get it wrong, otherwise you might have to move the beacon. So it takes quite a while, but now I can finally start mining, which, although it's boring at points, it's always exciting after finding a few diamonds. And now all I have to do is actually get 50 blocks diagonally from this beacon to dig out a hole to get to the bottom of the world so I can start strip mining. So that's it. That's what I'll start doing now. So let's just go to the time lapse. So I'm here in the middle of the time lapse because it's a quite long one. It has more than 10 minutes. That's
because I spent over 114 hours working on this video, but I tried to make the time-lapse as interesting as I could. Beginning from day 3, it'll get considerably more interesting than the first 2 days. The first 2 days are quite long. Second day I think I mined for more than 6 hours, so that was quite a lot. I was really trying to get it done as fast as I could in the beginning, but then I gave up on that a week, and I think it was even less than that. The main reason it took me over 33 days to do the entire project was deep slate. As it takes longer for it to be mined, it slows down the process even more and makes it more mentally exhausting than it already is, and that really takes out your motivation. By the end of each row, I would take pauses that many times would be longer than the actual time that I spent mining that row. On average, I think it was about 18 minutes per row, mostly because of deep slate. Once I moved closer to my base, the process is just much faster, as the only things that could slow me down were ores, gravel, and dirt that are way less abundant than deep slate. That, without calculating anything, it seems to be 25% of the blocks on Y level 11. I did this all just because when I was making the world tour, I showed a shulker box of diamond blocks that I mined more than a year ago. And that was a time that I wasn't even thinking about making a video. And I presented in the world tour all the proof that I have. But I know it is suspicious to show something like that very few people have something similar. I didn't expect you to believe in the first time you did, based only on this video and the evidence that I showed on the tour, but I think that the legitimacy of this time that I'm doing, recording everything, is undeniable. As I was trying to prove the first time, I used the same method of the beacon with haste and strip mining. I could have used a tunnel bar or a ward eater that would make the process much faster. The first time I did, it was not to prove anything. I was just bored in the middle of the pandemic. I wasn't feeling inspired, so I decided to get all these diamonds after I watched a video of Skull getting 2000 diamonds, and then I thought I could do better, and then I ended up getting 14,000 diamonds. So to keep me focused through this entire project, I stopped playing any other games and even doing other things inside Minecraft. The only thing I was doing was playing on my Minecraft world and specifically mining for diamond. By doing that, I think it helped me out because even though I wanted to work on other things, I wouldn't change my focus, because if you start doing other more interesting projects, you'll never finish something like that. Mega projects like this one, you need to be totally focused on it. Of course, throughout the process, you get less and less motivated. For example, on the start, I was setting the goal to finish the project in 2 weeks. That was what I had left of my vacations, but that was quite impossible. I'd have to mine 6 hours a day. I tried that on day 2, and it was quite exhausting, both mentally and physically, so I ended up giving up on that, and it ended up taking me 33 days. Another thing that I did to keep the focus was giving pauses. As I said before, some would be considerably long, which it's not ideal, but I think that without those it is impossible to keep you doing this your entire day. Making shorter rows as well could help. As I did 2000 blocks, that takes a long time. It doesn't help out as you cannot see any progress basically. So making shorter rows, as I did when I moved closer to my base on 1.14 chunks, I ended up making a 500 row and then a 700 one, and it was just much faster and you could see the progress, which is quite important to keep your motivation. So the conclusion is that I wouldn't recommend doing something like that, as it is a really long process and it's not easy to get to the end. So maybe doing something smaller that represents your effort might make you feel inspired by the end, or just give you a new perspective of your world. In my case, for example, now that I'm done with the project, I'm giving way more value to the things I already have in the world and taking some time to look at the details and appreciate what I've accomplished so far. And then the process is not as rewarding as it seems, because the end result, a shulker box of diamond blocks, I don't think that's enough to represent all the effort that I've put in a project like that. But it is rewarding. I'd say that mining and building the pile with both the diamond ores and the diamond block are way more rewarding than just crafting all the diamonds into blocks and seeing them in a shulker box. I don't think that 100 hours can be summed up to a shulker box. So I think that was all I wanted to talk about, so I'll leave you all with the rest of the time lapse.
So I'm finally done mining those diamonds, even built the pile, and I even got some few left with me. I want to keep the deflate ones. I already have a few more in my base as well, which I probably need. But this thing here, it's a 48 by 12 by 12 pillar of diamonds, and I still need about 2.5 stacks more in order to get the shulker box of diamond blocks, which I'll be mining after I mine this whole thing. You can see here the statistics, almost mined 200,000 deep slate, and from that I got more than 100,000. You can see the things here, diamonds, redstone. I accidentally broke 3 pickaxe netherite ones in the process, which is quite unfortunate. And in times used, the netherite pickaxe actually surpassed the diamond one with this thing. Over here, I have another area that I had to mine. Maybe could have seen that from the time lapse. It's right near my base, and I actually mined 2 areas over here. One of 100 by 505 blocks, and another one of 100 by 707 blocks, in order to get the diamonds that I needed. It wasn't enough to mine that whole area. Need to mine a bit more here. Got a few ores in the chest over here. Here is the main one. The area near my base was just so much faster to mine without a deep slate. The deep slate really slowed down the process by a lot. And let me just show the chests over here. As you can see, it was maybe a bit worth it. Got a lot of deep slate lapis lazuli ores, a lot of deep slate coal ores. Even got some more here in the chest. A lot of emerald ores, even some deep slate ones. A lot of copper, a lot of deep slate, as you can see here. Then here I have a lot of diorite and granite. Got mostly those and not andesite, which is the one I use the most because diorite is just better to get, as you can combine 1 diorite with 1 cobblestone and get 2 andesite. So it's just better to get diorite, as cobblestone I can easily farm. I do this by just filling the inventory with a few of those blocks. So I just get like a few stacks in each row I would mine with all the ores, deep slate, granite, and diorite. Ended up using 126 shulker boxes, about that, to store all the items. You can see here in this chest. And I got a lot of stuff here, some gold ores, a lot of iron ores, some redstone, and some copper. And that's pretty much it. And now with this pile here, finally mined this thing. Time lapse, hope was interesting. Me a long time to do that. Don't have the time count yet. Need to go back on a backup. But for you to have an idea, I sped up the time lapse by 320 times. So a lot of time went into making this video. So now I can finally mine this thing. Now I have mined all diamonds. By the way, it took me more than an hour to do so, but we can take a look at the statistics now. You can see here, diamond ore I mined a total of 23,000, which is more than I actually mined, of course, not only because I use silk touch and fortune, but because I mined a lot of those to get the first shulker box of diamond blocks. And here I have the deep plate ones, which was 5018 total. Of course, you need to divide that by 2 and subtract a few, because it happened that I would just place them, sometimes just seed block, then break them. So I mined, let's say, 2500 of those. I think it's a good estimate. But now all I have to do is actually get just a few more diamonds, because that pile was not enough. By the way, I actually got total amount of time it took me to do this whole thing, and it was about 114 hours for this whole video, so a lot of time. Actually close to how long it took for the first time I did this thing. Even though now I had a deep plate, I think I was able to be a bit faster overall, as I already had a bit more knowledge of how to do this stuff. Maybe this stack of diamonds might just be enough to get me the rest of diamonds I need. Let's see. And no, it still need a few more. So I finally have all the diamonds. I still got 32 hours left. Now all I have to do is craft them into blocks. So let me just set it up very quickly here. And now I can start crafting them. Just need to be careful not to click like on the diamond chest plate, because if I craft an inventory of those, that is actually a lot of diamonds just wasted. Now with the whole thing crafted, I went to, of course, place them down somewhere, and I already prepared the area around here. So I have this hole under the tree here that I dug out a long time ago to build a base, but I actually never did so. So I just have a bunch of chests here and some signs there with my objectives, and I ended up clearing this area a bit, removing some torches from the walls, and just opening up a space to place the diamond pile here. I designed this pedestal here to put them. I think they'll fit here. It'll probably be very close to the ceiling by the end, but I think it will look good. Even brought some lanterns and chains to light up the pile so it just doesn't look completely dark. So all I have to do now is just place the diamonds. It's finally here, the pile is complete, and it just looks amazing to me. It was a bit challenging to build this whole thing because it was actually pretty close to the ceiling in the end. You can see here it's only one block from the ceiling, but it just looks amazing. Didn't think it would look that big, so I'm just overall very happy with the result here. One day I'll move this to a better place, but right now this is the best one I got, and it'll stay here for a while, I think. As I explained at the beginning of the video, I had the idea to do this again because when I did the world tour, I showed shulker boxes, diamond blocks, that I mined before I even started the channel. And now I've done it again. Took me a bit longer this time because of deep slate. But now I want to know what I should do with the shulker box now, if I should place them somewhere, if I should burn them, which would pain me a lot because it took me a long time to get those. If I should do something else, I don't know. So I would just be grateful if you gave me some ideas with what to do with it. But having said that, I think it's time to end the episode here. It was a lot of work, but I'm quite happy with the result. So I hope you enjoyed it, and see you in the next one. Goodbye.